AdamHarry from BoLS, and I'm here with Big Red Larry Vela himself.
What's going on, guys?
And we've got Gangs of Commorragh.
Dun dun dun.
I'm pretty excited about this one. You know, from what I've read, it's Necromunda meets jet bikes, in the Dark City.
I like that.
I like it. So
breakneck combat in the Dark City.
Here's a shot of the back of the box real quick. This is all the stuff we're going to be getting inside. We're going to look at it. It looks like you get 6 Reaver jet bikes and 8 Hellions.
Contents.
Yep. Oh, 10 Hellions. Excuse me. And then all these different dials and stuff. And we're going to flip through this. You just want to see what's inside. Maybe take a little quick peek at the rules too while we're at it. So.
All right, here we go. Dun dun.
Here we go. Now, I haven't opened this yet. I've only taken the plastic wrap off.
That box looks extra snug.
It is. It's, you know, good high quality stuff. Oh, we've got a nice quick reference sheet.
Okay.
So that's actually, ooh, hey, you get 2 of them. So
for each player.
For each player, you get 2. That's pretty sweet. And it's front and back.
Okay.
So you want
I'll
to take one
a
of
look at
those?
this one.
Sweet.
Cool.
So that's everything you're going to get there. So there's your riders and your vehicles.
Very cool. Okay.
Here's the quick getting started. You probably want to read this first.
Okay.
And it looks like it's only about a page of how to actually play stuff.
It's one page. It just gives you the absolute basics on like
We've
how
got
to move,
the hit roll and the kill roll.
how to do an attack.
We don't actually wound in this game.
And
We
there's
kill
a,
stuff.
and there's a thing on the bottom that's like, now that you've read the 2-page thing.
Yeah. This is probably just the assembly guide.
That
so
is.
if you've assembled Hellions before, you're good. So that's that. And I don't see the jet bikes. Maybe it's a different one.
I'm sure there's a different one in
Probably
there
in there somewhere.
Oh, wait, look.
Oh, there it is.
Dun dun.
There's the jet bikes.
Here we go.
Bum, bum, bum. Of course,
I'll take that.
also useful in your games of Warhammer 40,000.
There's this other game called Warhammer
Warhammer
40,000 that's not a board game, and these miniatures work with that.
Here's
game
the rule book real quick too. You can see it's about 30 something pages.
Yep, 30 pages.
It looks full color. It's really nice. It's like magazine spread. Really, I'll get a roster sheet.
Okay.
We have permission to photocopy this, so
All
you're
you gang
good to go.
members.
Yep.
Track your gangs.
That's really nice. And again, we'll flip through this here in a second. What else we got? Ugh. Oh, you hear that?
Whoa.
We got punch outs.
I heard sprues.
Of course, we've got our cardboard punch outs. Board pack.
Pretty good.
Pretty good size. Couple inches tall.
Tons of tokens.
Here's
Here's the movement, the thing to determine arcs.
Yeah, that's, for me, I think is one of the more interesting parts of this game. I'm kind of confused as how that works, but I'm also intrigued. So it's a good confused. We've got flyer bases because
they're all on flyer bases.
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me. I'm allergic to the new box spell. We've got dice because you got to have dice. Some dice.
These are special Gangs of Commorragh dice.
Ooh. Yep. You're obviously going to get a bunch of jet bikes in here. So we've seen these sprues. I'm just going to pull out the jet bikes.
Yeah. Pull out one jet bike and then one Hellion
sprues.
Because these are not new.
Yeah, no. I think they've been out for like a month or 2 at least.
So I mean,
something like that.
Like a Saturn one, maybe. Not like an Earth one.
That's pretty much everything in the box. It's got this little fold-out thing, I think. Yep.
Nothing underneath.
Nothing underneath. So we always check because sometimes they hide stuff.
Every now and then, you'll get something weird going on in the game or something.
Right. You get 2 sprue, 3. Yeah.
2.
You get 2 big sprues for the Hellions. These are
you get 5 Hellions per
sprue.
This is just the standard 5-man Hellion squad.
Yeah.
And you get 2 of them.
Right.
That you buy in a box. So
big shock there.
Big shocker there.
And we've seen these models before. Been out for a long time. Again, the Dark LR range when they updated it, they did a fantastic job already.
They're beautiful.
They are really good. I'm excited to actually have a game to use them in that's not 40K because right now
in this game they're going to be super awesome.
Yeah.
Totally badass. Nobody beats the Dark LR in this game.
Here's the sprues. You get 2 sets of sprues again. These are just the rear bikes that you would expect from the box set, but you get 6 of them now. So I actually really like this model. If I could play Dark Eldar with Reaver jet bikes all the time, and instead of Eldar jet bikes, that's what I would use.
Yep,
so,
they look good.
They look good. I like them. So we're gonna cut real quick, and we're gonna just flip through the rules real fast. Here's the rulebook for the Gangs of Commorragh. Again, we saw this real fast. It's not a big rulebook. It's only 32 pages roughly.
Yep.
Again, the table of contents in it real fast. Probably not going to show everything off in the book. No kind of defeats the point, but just wanted to show off some of the things. In this book, you've got everything. So how to make gangs, all the special rules, what murder packs are, how the fight subphases are, how all the subphases to a turn break down. And it's got the pre-fight sequence and all. If you for campaign play, it's got pre-fight, post-fight sequence. It reminds me of a very slimmed down version of Necromunda.
Yeah, it's kind of like a combination of Necromunda put into an aviation, like an X-wingy kind of a game.
Yeah, a little bit. The turning's a little different.
Right. Well,
but yeah, there's not maneuvers per se.
Yeah,
but
not the rule mechanics of X-wing, but just a
the feel of it.
Yeah, it's the aerial combat.
Right.
It's an aerial combat version of Necromunda.
Also in these books is really cool. They actually have these really giant kind of story sections, and there's a couple of these throughout the book, which I really like. They're just background of like Reavers and Hellions don't like each other, and here's why. They're bad. They're bad news. Here's your typical game components real fast. I'm going to run through these because these are kind of important. They do have these cardboard sections to make terrain. I can't wait to see more terrain options. I want to see more Xenos terrain. I think more Dark Eldar terrain in particular would be cool. Just these spires. They actually have the in-game effect later on. We'll get to the Hellions having a special ability of grabbing, where they can actually use these pillars to help themselves turn, which is really cool.
Yep.
On top of that, you've got all these different counters and stuff like that. Attack markers are used after a model makes an attack. You put an attack marker at the end of the turn. During like the cleanup step, you move everything off. It's not actually called the cleanup step. I forget what it's called, but it's like the upkeep or whatever you want to call it. There are hunters and quarry, and this is kind of a big deal. Hunters are when you are behind.
Yes.
You are behind a model, and you have them in your front arc, and you are also in their rear arc. You can declare to be a hunter, and they become your quarry. Now, hunters can only attack their quarry because they kind of like focus in on them.
Right.
You also have to be within 18 inches of your quarry. The interesting thing about this is a hunter can also be marked as somebody else's quarry,
right,
and vice versa.
Right.
And
but once you've defined someone as your quarry, you cannot attack other targets.
Correct.
You have to attack them down.
You have to go after them, but it's interesting because it can lead to this whole chain of events where the quarries actually move first.
Right.
So quarry moves and a hunter moves, and then if that hunter happens to be somebody else's quarry, then another hunter moves, and then you can have this whole chain of guys trying to catch each other.
And then
everybody that's not a hunter or quarry moves. So that's kind of how that move turn goes.
Right.
We also have these jink markers, which are another effecting, same with stun markers. The turn dial, I think, is one of the most interesting things in this game. That's kind of what Larry was talking about. You want to show that off real fast?
I'll pop it out.
Yeah, the turn...
right there?
Yeah.
There's your turn dial.
The turn dial is weird because it can actually affect, well, the more difficult your turns are, your speed and stuff like that. Yeah. And it all comes into play with the turn mark.
It has the little red arrow for straight ahead that you'll put in front of your model, and then it has the 45, 60, and 75 degree turns marked on it.
Yeah. And then you just rotate the model, the front of the model to that direction, or up to that direction, and depending on the maneuver and stuff like that. So, it's pretty cool. It does talk about the murder packs later on, but I'm just going to talk about this real fast. You can actually mix murder packs. You just get a minus to your ambush roll, which is kind of important roll at the start of the game. So, and you can get a bonus for other bonuses to the ambush roll. I do want to skip ahead over to the campaign stuff real quick, because I think this is probably one of the coolest part of the game. Just the campaign rules. The combat rules, they actually did a Twitch stream, if you saw that, about how to actually play the game, but I'm not going to cover that stuff so much. We haven't played it yet, so I don't feel comfortable telling people how to play it yet. But the campaign rules are really cool. It talks about how to create a gang and organizing fights. They have this whole pre-fight sequence, which if you are a Mordheim or Necromunda player, or even Koenig, you'll remember. These are very similar, but it's a very truncated, kind of a quick play version of those, which is good because instead of rolling like in a D100 chart, it's just a 2d6 chart.
Yeah. This game only comes with a handful of d6s.
Right? You pick you roll off to see the type of a fight you're having, and then you can roll a subplot to see if it's bad for you.
Yeah.
And then you just go to town, and then there's the big post-fight sequence. You can actually upgrade your guys with the money you make and the income you make, which is really cool. They have a bunch of cool upgrades you can get. And the last but not least I wanted to show off was the gang roster. you can actually keep track of your gangs and stuff like that. And just how they did the gangs and everything like that is really cool. I really like it. And they have all throughout the book, there's a bunch of really cool artwork. So, yeah. Most of the stuff, again, is on these quick reference guides. You get 2 of these, so it's perfect for 2 players. If you're looking to just jump on in, I think you'll be very pleased.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. I'll go over a couple of the things on here that are really neat, just to give you an idea of how they did make kind of both of the sides pretty different. So, so here's a set of common maneuvers that everybody can do. So everybody can do barrel rolls, and you can do brake turns and half loops and side slips and sliding around. But then when you get into the differences between Reavers and Hellions, obviously Reavers are your guys on your jet bikes. They're going to be really fast. So they're all about
straight line.
Right, straight line. They're quick. So they can be dropping caltrips.
Yes.
So
they have a template.
They have a template. Hold on.
Punch out the template real quick.
Ready. Here it is.
Whoa. Boom. It's like a minefield, basically.
It is, right. So they can drop little things and mess people up. They can also do a slash attack for all you 40K players. What's that 40K game we were talking
40
about?
something? Yeah. Something about Jet
Grim
Bike?
Hammer? I don't know, whatever. There's a whole other game you can play with these models. So,
the slash attack is really cool. It's
basically
after the jet bikes move over, right?
Yeah, so they can fly over you and do an attack because they all have those little nasty veins on the jet bikes, which is cool. And of course, turbo.
You gotta go
so
fast.
They can just go super fast.
I would call the Reavers the Ricky Bobbies of the Gangs of Commorragh. They like to go fast.
They do like to go fast.
Yeah.
And then the Hellions are the opposite. So they have air brake, so they can go 0.
Yeah.
Now there's a so there's a minimum speed in this game. So those jet bikes. Now imagine you're trying to chase people, or you have you're doing Hunter Quarry stuff. So being able to stop is gonna be really cool. Yeah. And then I'm gonna stop. And they're gonna fly right past me.
Right.
What movie is that from?
Top Gun. Come on.
All right.
Give me a hard one.
Grab is really cool. So we saw. I'm gonna pop another thing out. Visual aid. So there's the little towers.
Yes.
That you build. So with grab. Hellions, if they end their movement really near one of those towers, they can basically...
That's the hook turn ability.
Yes, sorry. That's the hook turn ability. They can basically hook onto it and swing around it and get...
Which is super cool.
And they can keep doing free turns over and over and over again until they want to stop. So once they get near those things, they can swing all the way around them and change their vector.
Yeah, or unless you run out of movement, which is another thing. The grab is the attack that you were talking about. That basically, you can hit somebody that's within 3 inches of you and pull them an inch closer to the Hellion. You can also force them to make up to a 45-degree turn, which is pretty mean in this game.
Yeah, that's super dirty. So you could
point them at a piece of terrain and be like, have fun crashing.
You can shove them off the board, you can shove them into a piece of terrain, or just if you're doing Hunter Quarry stuff, you can really mess up people.
Yeah. And you can see here the move. There is a minimum 6-inch move for jet bikes, minimum 4-inch for skyboard, unless you air brake. And then your turn ability. There's a whole agility thing like that going on in this game.
This game obviously has points, so those jet bikes also cost more. So it's going to be that typical thing of if you're doing jet bikes, your guys are individually better, but you're going to be outnumbered. And
the way it works too is there's an experience cost for the type of rider that you want to ride that you have. So basically, you're paying for your pilot, piloting skill. You're paying for the vehicle, and you can when you're constructing a gang. You can build a starter gangs up to 750 points, basically. So you take your rider. They recommend just do experienced riders and whatever. That's like the baseline.
Right.
But you can totally change it up. And then there's also a way to add up all of the levels over here to see what your not your rating is, but just comparatively, if you're way out leveling your opponent, maybe. You can scale it back. There's just a lot of different ways you can do this. There's also a mode in here called Sky Fight or Sky War, which is just you bring everything, I bring everything, and we just
big,
fight.
huge, giant fight.
Yeah,
which sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, show them the weapon chart.
Oh,
because there's a lot of cool.
Oh, there are. Yeah, look at that.
Don't forget that. So there's all these. So as you can see, there's a lot of variety.
I think I've seen some of these weapons in that other game that we were talking about. 40K.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Agonizer or something. I don't know.
And
heat lances, they sound familiar.
Things have an arc, they have a range, they have what they actually kill models on.
Yeah.
Based on those numbers, I'm gonna assume that
it's 2d6.
It's a 2d6 roll. Yeah. So hey, watch out for Power Sword is the badass.
Yeah, but that's also really close. 3-inch range.
Yeah.
It's an interesting looking game. Again, I would go over the how to play stuff, but we haven't played yet, and I haven't really got a chance to read those rules yet.
But that's just a quick overview.
Yeah.
You've seen what's inside the box. Gangs of Commorragh.
I'm excited about this one. You'll probably see more coverage on this. So
I think you will.
yeah. Oh, anyway, I'm AdamHarry from BoLS.
And I'm Larry Vela.
Thanks again for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.